Yeah, hello people, this is Solomon's Diary. I'm sure you've been enjoying our previous episodes, alright? This new episode focuses on media. A lot of people want to know what it entails to be a journalist, and that is why I want to take you into the newsroom to know what happens. I'm interviewing my colleagues, my friends, and Arise TV.
Hi, my name is Lakme Banjo. I'm a news anchor.
My name is Izu Nabife.
I am Oye Ngozi.
My name is Ikenna Kingsley Onyekwelu.
Keep watching Solomon's Diary.
Keep watching Solomon's Diary.
Keep watching Solomon's Diary. It's fun, it's thrilling, it's different, and it's definitely exciting.
On a daily basis, events turn out. I mean, things are happening all over the world. Per minute basis, things are happening in America, Nigeria, things are happening in Europe. Coming together to put these stories, behind the scenes stories, getting intelligence to come also talk through it, give us real life scenarios, and provide practical analysis for these news for the public. So that's what we do here. Well, we try to come together, we try to put this news together, package it together, and give you live reports on the events as it's happening. So basically, that's what I do here. And in between news, we've got breaking news. And when the news breaks, we take it live. We take it as it is, raw. Then we come back to do some analysis, getting some intellectuals, getting some professionals, some people in the business, involved in it, to come give us a real life analysis of what the news is all about. Being a news person, being a broadcaster or a news person in general, it doesn't matter which medium you want to work in, you must understand that this is your life. So your social life, your everyday life, you live, walk, you breathe news. That's who you are. If you decide to go through this path, if you try to walk this path, it means that you decided to live the life of a news person. So your social life, your daily life, everything is in the news. It's all about the news. So it's number one, it's important that you must identify what passion you have. If you're passionate about being in this industry, then you must consider the fact that this is who you are. This is what you're going to do all your life. So if you're not passionate about it, then maybe you should reconsider and do something you're passionate about. So it's something you must be passionate about, so that when you're doing it, they wake you up in the middle of the night of an event breaking. You wake up 4 a.m. in the morning, something is breaking. You must rise up as if, oh my goodness, you were looking forward to it breaking in the first place. You look forward for breaking news. As a matter of fact,
Production is actually very easy. Just depends on how you tell your story. So yeah, you have to put yourself in the shoes or the situation, or how do I put it, in the shoes of the person watching you. So when you come to produce your show, you have to ask yourself one question. If you were sitting on the other side, would you actually enjoy watching whatever you're trying to give the viewers? Okay, so my bit is entertainment, Arise 360. So now, first of all, it's a news channel. So we do, a lot of serious stuff actually. So this has to be, you're doing something serious, but you have to make it light, because it's entertainment, yeah? So Arise 360, you source for your stories online, you confirm. Sometimes you go the extra mile of stalking celebrities to, follow their lifestyle and, have every story when it breaks. So you become the first to actually carry the story. So you have to do a lot of stalking in entertainment. You have to always be on your toes. Social media is your best. It should be your best friend, if I would put it that way. You should be very, very, very active on social media, because that's where half of the whole thing breaks. You have celebrities doing press releases on social media, giving out news about their arts and crafts on social media. So you have to really be active on social media. So you have to do like a lot of stalking. So 360 basically, it's entertainment. We take you around the world. Of pop culture, fashion, arts and culture, different angles of entertainment. It's not just about music, not just about the movies. We cover every aspect of entertainment. That's why the name is called Arise 360. So we don't miss any, important detail, basically. So we get the stories, we script to write it, then we give the assets. This is Arise America, by the way, but we give our assets to these guys, the editors, to work on it, and we'll attach it and we're good to go, basically. My advice is, first of all, if you like sleep, you have to take that off the table, because you need to be on your feet, you need to be on your toes, you need to actually know what you want in the media industry. If you want to come into this industry, you have to have a vision of where you see yourself in 5 years. So my advice would be that they should just work hard. They should read. They should be social media savvy. They should be in the know of everything around them, from entertainment to news. They should be ready to sacrifice a whole lot to be a media person or a journalist.
In every media industry, makeup is always very important, because these have a lot to do with how they appear before the screen. We have a lot of lightings inside the studio, so we need this makeup to help balance the lighting and to make the people look okay on TV. So we have continuity makeup. You have to touch up to make sure they are okay. You have to touch up to make sure they look okay on TV. They don't look oily. They don't have this shining that will have to interfere with the light and make the light bounce back to the camera. So makeup is always important in the media artistry, and always not just a typical day kind of makeup, not just the party kind of makeup. So we're talking of the media artistry. So when you're talking of the media artistry, you have to do something that is so mild, something that is really matte, so it doesn't interfere with the balance of the lights, because usually there's too much lightings in the studio, and then these tend to make the light bounce back to the camera. We put into consideration people's skin tone. Like, I will just try to make a summary out of it, because it's not like a day's thing. So when you see someone, before you have to do anything on the person's face, initially in your mind you will know that, okay, this is the person's skin tone. We have different kind of skin tone. We have different kind of undertones. We call them undertones. We have yellow undertones, we have red undertones. So these undertones interfere with the balance of the foundation. So typically when you see someone that is light, it doesn't mean the person has yellow undertone. So it's something that you have to learn over the time and over your study as a makeup artist. So the undertone matters, the skin tone matters. So these two work hand in hand to get a perfect match for their foundation. Working in a media house, you have to deal with a whole lot of people. You have to deal with different characteristics. You have to work with timing. Even most times, most anchors, they come in very late for their shows, and you have to make sure they really look okay on air. So most times you tell some anchors, this is what I think you should wear, and they try to argue with you and say, oh, this is what I want smoky eyes, I want this. They don't understand that most makeup don't work for media makeup. It's not every kind of makeup you wear outside that you can wear when you're going on air. And know that this makeup has to be touched up. So the more you touch it up, the more it builds up, and the more it becomes cakey. But they don't know. So you have to really educate them. So your work starts as a makeup artist from educating. So you have to educate them. You have to let them know that, okay, this is what you should do. This is what I think you should do. And then over the time, I guess they've become used to it.
Hi, my name is Lakme Banjo. I'm a news anchor at Arise News. I've been here for nearly a year now. I moved back to Nigeria last year, about April last year. And it's been an interesting ride doing journalism out here. I've always been a journalist in the UK, and now I'm a journalist touring Africa and trying to begin this adventure of what journalism like is in Africa. Now, a typical day at Arise News, you come in for your bulletin, you speak to the producers, you kind of know what the news is like in the morning, and then you go into the studio. Some people look through their rundowns. I look at it on my way into work, and check kind of who am I talking to around the world, what are the stories, what are the headlines, speak to the producers, you do your makeup, come in, sit down and read the news. Now, what's really interesting is anything can happen in that course of 1 hour that you're reading the news for. You could have breaking news from somewhere as rural as Kazakhstan, a war, for example, happening in Kazakhstan, and you have to kind of have an idea of what you're talking about. So some people think you just come in, it's quite easy, you read the news and you kind of leave, when not really, because you need to have a scope of world news if that is what your remit is. If you do African news, then you have a scope of most of the news going on across Africa. My remit happens to be foreign news, so I do the world, and I also specialise in African and UK affairs. So I've done a lot on Brexit, I've done a lot on Trump. So whenever anything's going on, I kind of need to know what's going on around the world to be able to put my own commentary as well as speak to correspondents. Sometimes, people don't tell you what to ask them, so you don't have an idea of what they're going to talk about. So you just kind of have to have a conversation around a topic or what's happening in the world. And that's what makes the job so interesting. Now, before I came to Nigeria, an ideal day in a typical newsroom is you come in and you sit down with the rest of your team, producers, researchers, and so on, everybody that's kind of involved in the news making process. You have all the top stories across the world on that day, and you decide which are the top headlines you're going to go with. And this is way before the bulletin even starts. Because Arise is more of an international station, you have teams in London, you have teams in America, all collaborating to make sure that this news is done properly. So it's actually, I would say, slightly easier doing it here because you're not contributing to the production process from scratch. If that makes sense. So usually when I come in, I don't really have a discussion in the newsroom because most times news is gathered from London, especially for my bulletins, which are mainly foreign bulletins. So the news is gathered, I have a look, check any other developments that may be coming out of those countries, have a look at my script for any kind of grammatical errors, wording issues, how I would speak and how I would feel comfortable speaking. And then I have a look at who I'm talking to. A typical day, I talk to about 3 correspondents from across the world who will give their analysis of all the different news. And essentially, my producer's communicating with me constantly with talk back in my ear. And the director kind of tells me what to do, where to look, which angle, and that kind of thing. So it's a very seamless process. It's exciting, it's fun, it's thrilling, it's crazy. And if you can't balance the insanity with the sanity, it might not be a place for you. But essentially, I love my job. It's I wouldn't do anything else. And you have to be driven by passion to be a journalist. That's definitely true, especially in a country like Nigeria, where you can be deterred by the littlest things, by any kind of challenges in the country or domestic issues that can really put you off. But in my case, that's what drives me to do more, to know more, to kind of prod for more information, and that kind of thing. So a typical day in the life of a journalist is never the same. It's very interesting and it's fun, but guess what? It's not for everyone. Hi, my name is Lakwe Banjo. I'm a news anchor.
My name is Izu Nabife.
I am Oye Ngozi.
My name is Ikena Kingsley Onyekwelu.
Keep watching Solomon's Diary.
Keep watching Solomon's Diary.
Keep watching Solomon's Diary. It's fun, it's thrilling, it's different, and it's definitely exciting.